Hello, good day, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today. My name is Sumaina Braimah, co-founder, COO of Crunch Network. Firstly, I would like to thank the entire GatherVerse team for putting up this opportunity for us to speak about the seven standards of metaverse. Now, I will talk about the Crunch Network a little bit. Crunch Network is an ecosystem that is set to decentralize, facilitate, and also educate and reduce financial inclusion in the African ecosystem. With that in mind, the Crunch Network has created three products, which are basically one, the tokens, also the D-apps, and also the NFT section. Now, with the tokens are incentivized in the sense that all users and all holders of the tokens would benefit from a certain percentage of the transaction fees, and also the tokens are deflationary. Now, with the D-app is where the lending protocol is available, which is currently available for beta testing. Also, the D app is where people can get access to the tokens, which are currently available right now. And also with the D app is where users will be able to, access wealth management products, number one. Also access what we call payday lending, what we call SME lending, also supply chain lending. These are what the D apps entails. And also with the NFTs, we understood that in the African ecosystem, education can be very, very chaotic because right now there is the new buzz where we have metaverse, we have blockchain, we have what's it called different blockchains to be very specific, where we have layer ones, layer twos, where we have different consensus mechanism coming out right now. So these I would say these terminologies attempt to be very, very confusing for those who are coming into the Web3 newly. So with that in mind, the Crunch Network we said to say, okay, every niche and every sections on the Web3 number one, blockchain inclusive, would be catered with basic and adequate education. Now, in the sense of now we structure out the education in different sectors. Now, with that in mind, we understood that okay, our NFTs have to have very and most probable utilities. And in order for us to be able to attain that, we dove down deep into the African ecosystem to understand where the origination came from. And now we understood that okay, the African ecosystem had various tribes in the early days. With that in mind, we represented each and every NFTs on different tribes. Now, to the south, where we have the Nama tribe, also we have the San tribe. To the east, we have the Oromo tribe. To the north, we have the Beba tribe, and to the west, we have what's it called? The we have the Nok tribe. To the on the center of it all, we have the Mesa de Pantera, which is governing and joining all of the tribes together. So now we will talk about the seven standards of metaverse. But before we talk about the seven standards of metaverse, picking out two topics out of the seven standards of metaverse, which are one, accessibility, and education. But before we talk about the seven standards of metaverse, we first have to talk about what metaverse is all about. Now, we all know the buzz right now, metaverse, Web3. So basically, what metaverse is all about? Metaverse is basically virtual reality and augmented reality combined for us to be able to, assess different, I would say, realities prior to what we have right now on our our real world reality basically. So with that in mind, for us to be able to assess this reality, to be able to do things in this reality, to be able to work, do specific things in this reality, we have to have I would say basic mediums to be able to assess it. Now these mediums are either they are hardware, software, and also knowledge to be able to operate and work with this I would say with these realities that we have. Now we know that accessibility, for us to be able to access the metaverse, for us to be able to assess what we will be doing in the metaverse, one, we would need basic knowledge, we would need education, we would need the hardwares, we would need what's it called the softwares, which are which tends to be very pricey because, for example, the headset of the VR headset for us to be able to assess this virtual reality cost between I would say $30 to $1,000, which with the current inflation would be more. So these are kind of the things that these are kind of the factors that are affecting the accessibilities of, I would say, accessibilities of virtual reality in the metaverse. So right now, now pertaining that to the African ecosystem, we could clearly tell now that, with the current inflation and the high price of things going on in Africa, one, we don't even have, I would say, the current, I would say, capabilities to be able to adapt to that, because now we will need data structure, we need data infrastructure, we will need network infrastructure where you have stronger and swift processing times. So with that, with the current African infrastructure, data should be provided, and I would say network infrastructure should be provided that would enable the African ecosystem to be able to adapt and swift adoption of the metaverse. Now we talk about education. Now we understand that education is something that is very, very chaotic in the African ecosystem, to be very, very specific. Now, in order for us to be able to, understand what we are going to be doing in metaverse, now we have the various mediums to attack, I would say, attack the metaverse. Now, we have, I would say, community medium to be able to attack the metaverse. Now, when I say attack, I mean to be able to do work in the metaverse, to be able to, participate in the metaverse, to be able to earn in the metaverse. Now, for us to be able to earn in the metaverse, for us to be able to participate or do basic things in the metaverse, now we should be able to, one, have the various knowledge. When I say knowledge, now we should be equipped how to operate these devices. Now, if you know how to operate these devices, what are we going to do there? Now, the metaverse is a very large, it's a very broad term, to be very, very specific. Now, there are different types, there are different things that goes on in the metaverse. One of the various things that is currently booming in the metaverse industry right now is gaming sector. We could see that what gaming sector is always almost doing. For those who play games, for those who are very, very familiar with gaming, you could know that you will know the likes of Fortnite, the likes of Minecraft, and also the likes of Roblox. So those are particular, I would say, software games that have been, trying to adapt into the virtual reality, or something like what Meta, also Facebook, is doing. I believe everyone would have been able to hear, or some people which are currently on the very, very prominent in the blockchain space would have heard of Meta and what they are doing with the metaverse. So basically, education is a very key aspect for us to be able to integrate very, very successfully in the metaverse, with the metaverse journey. Because if you are not properly educated, if you are not properly educated on how to tackle these problems, on how to be able to be able to merge into metaverse, it becomes, I would say, it becomes a problem with adoption, because what people don't know, or what people don't know how to operate, they will not be able to, I would say, delve into it. Because right now, what you don't know, basically, you can't operate it, and when you can't operate it, it becomes a roadblock for you, because you will not be able to do anything you want to do. So with that in mind, that is what Crunch Network is set to solve, what CrunchNet is also solving, because we understood this particular problem, that education is a key factor to be able to access metaverse. You need education. This is where Crunch Network comes in, also to say we are here to provide education. We are already providing education on different niche in the Web3. We are already providing education on different niche on blockchain technology. We are already providing education related to more on what you can do with the metaverse. We can tell now how real estate is booming also in the metaverse, where you have the likes of decentralized, where people are, you can get virtual land on the metaverse with the help of your VR and your connection stations. You can be able to have a piece of land digitally, and which would be also represented on the real, what's it called, real asset, real world asset. So now, the I would say, education on the metaverse is, it's very, very, it's a whole new thing, basically, because now we have I would say, the concept of where we'll be able to attend classes from different places, where we'll be able to attend classes in anywhere in the world, because we have the access to get into metaverse. As I said, we would be able to, in the African ecosystem, we would be able to change this when we have proper education on, one, what Web3 generally is about. Because when people don't know what Web3 generally is about, I don't believe, or I don't think they will be able to, swiftly adapt into metaverse. Because Web3 and metaverse, if we like, or we say we don't like, they are interconnected, and one way or the other we have to interconnect both. So firstly, we have to let people understand what web3 is about, what blockchain is about, and how well they can utilize metaverse. So I believe with this, I've stated that why education is very important and how we should go about it, what Crunch is already doing on that aspect, and why people should, patronize Crunch on that aspect also, to be able to learn, to be able to understand what niche they will be able to pick, what niche they want to delve in, to be able to, sustain themselves or earn more going forward with the metaverse. Thank you very much.